Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30.
Welcome to the Fins tailgate. It's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. We live that aqua and orange from the field to the mic. Breaking down the plays, man, we talk it every night. From Tua to the defense, you know we keep it tight. NFL moves, you know we got the insight. We open up the floor, yeah, it's your time to shine. Fans drop the heat with opinions realigned. You got concerns, bring them, we're gonna chime. The Fins tailgates, where we keep it prime. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. The NFL's changing, but we stay on the grind. Latest breaking stories, we don't waste no time. From the trades to the rumors, we make them all align. At the Fins tailgate, we always on the climb. We're repping the Dolphins, but it's NFL-wide. From South Beach to the league, we keep it worldwide. Got the fans engaged with the energy supplied. Come kick it at the tailgate, we're riding high tide. Welcome to the Fins tailgate, it's where we elevate. Miami Dolphins talk, yeah, we never hesitate. Breaking news, hot takes, we keep it up to date. And when the fans speak up, the panel resonates. So if you love the game, you know we got the gate. Tune in, speak out, don't wait, it's your fate. This is the Fins tailgate, now watch us dominate. Miami Dolphins, NFL, yeah, we integrate.
Good flipping evening, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Coffee with yours truly, Culler. A big old cup of it. Actually, I'm a little light today. This evening. Needed a little extra rest. Couldn't go this morning, but I told you all I was going to go every Monday, and here I am. This is why you should hit the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and like it, share it, get it out there. So you know when stuff like this happens. We had a long post-game stream yesterday. We're going to get into all of that because boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say. And I am no longer going to say it to bots on Twitter. I'm done with that. And by the way, tonight, actually, I couldn't do it because I don't have a premium account on Twitter yet, so I couldn't stream there. But I was intending tonight to be the inaugural stream for my own personal timeline on Twitter, Color Commentary. Get over there and follow me so I know that I'm talking to real people because this is getting absolutely out of hand. And we're going to talk about all that because, oh my God, I just cannot believe what kind of paradigm we have entered into, and I refuse to enter it. We're going to talk about all of it. First, I'm going to run down the games, but if you are over on Twitter and you are a real person, I mean, the bots are welcome too, but get over here on YouTube and subscribe to our channel, The Fins Tailgate. We are here. We got it all. We ain't afraid to say it. And we don't owe anybody anything. We are not bought and paid for here at the Fins Tailgate. We have no benefactors. We have phone numbers if those benefactors would like to call, but we are subservient to nobody here. Let me repeat that. We are subservient to nobody at the Fins Tailgate. We all have our own shows. We are trying to show the world what how a true democratic republic should be run. And that's what we do here. We're all about a unified front, but we are all individuals. We got Ali, we got KP, we got Mr. Polk, we got Crypto always coming by, we got Tonk, been going at least once a week, El Capitan, of course. And I really don't care what Capitan has to say. This is color. This is coffee with a cup of color. And right now, I really don't care what Capitan's opinion is. I don't care what Ali's opinion is. I hope I didn't leave any of our boys out. Shake Money, who's in chat. How you doing, Shake? Been a while. Always holding down the fort. No offense, but I really don't care what Shake Money's opinion is. They all have their own opinions. They all can do their own shows. Some of them do. Some of them, whatever. We ain't all got the time, but I'm going to tell you what my opinion is, and it's not going to be controlled by anybody else. And I really don't care who thinks I'm dumb and who thinks I'm not. I can tell you what I am. I'm a real person. And I'm not going to be condescended to. I'm not going to be ignored. Well, you can ignore me. I don't really care. I'm not going to be silenced. I'm not going to be emasculated. I'm not going to have my intelligence insulted. I'm not going to be gaslit by a media machine that obviously has their own interests involved that don't include informing the people. So I'm here to do that. And I really don't care what people think about it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm attacking ideas. I know I come off really abrasive. I come off like whatever, but you know what? I've been to a lot of places. I've been to a lot of places in this country. I've been to places around the world. I'm almost close to 50 years old. And I've been to some very, very, very interesting places in the lines of work that I've done in my life. Okay. So I understand I have a certain perspective, and I operate in a certain paradigm with a certain code that has that experience. And I don't go around and flaunt it on the internet. I might drop a anecdotal story here or there that of situations I've been in my life, places I've been, places that my career took me. And I'm not going to sit here and be patronized and condescended to by people that use bots to do their job for them. In my opinion. If you have a difference of opinion, and you want to dismiss me, that's fine. But when you're out there spamming the public timeline on Twitter with a bunch of nonsense and nobody can refute it, well, I'm here to refute it right now. That's what I'm doing right now, Joe Mama. Good to have you this evening. I'm not going to sit there and argue with somebody's bot all day. I'm not going to sit here and live in this new paradigm where all these people think they know what they're talking about, or they're looking at football from this weird, perspective that doesn't even apply to the sport. I'm just not going to operate in that paradigm. I'm going to come to y'all. I'm going to fire up a show, coffee and a cup of color, and I'm going to tell you all what I think about it. And you know what? I don't care if I'm not a beat writer or I don't have a bunch of rich benefactors that allow me to pump out a bot to interact with y'all. See, the problem is I have to as a private person that's speaking in public. Okay, I have to there's this like balance, right? It's like two sliders next to each other, like a volume meter. And the more I'm insulted and ridiculed and bantered with and told how insignificant I am, the more I'm treated insignificantly, the more I have to pull away from interacting with the public. In other words, the closer that the negative people on the internet, the more reach they have to me, the more I got to pull away their reach. And when I pull away their reach, unfortunately, it pulls away a little bit of my reach to y'all, to the good people, to the positive people, to the people that are willing to listen to what I have to say and not ridicule me and insult my intelligence by spamming the world's timeline on Twitter with a bunch of absolute garbage about that decision that was made by Mike McDaniel yesterday. And I'm gonna break it all down for you. But first, we're gonna talk about yesterday's action. Hit the like button, everybody. Hit the poll after you hit the like button. The charge of admission to hit the poll, to vote in the poll tonight, is hitting the like button. And if you give me a moment to pull back up the poll, I can actually, because I closed that page for some stupid reason. I can inform the people all over the web. Twitter, Twitch, Kick, wherever you're at. If you're listening, I wanted to welcome the people that might be listening on Twitter's 4th and 10U channel or timeline. Appreciate y'all listening. Those of you that have been brought, that have stumbled across me and our channel through by way of Ali. Appreciate y'all. Welcome. We have a poll, and if you come over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and hit the like button, you can vote in said poll as soon as I figure out how the hell to get back there. Sorry, producing for me tonight, guys. I'm doing it all. You know how I am. All right, so tonight's poll, for those that are just joining us, I've had it up for a little bit, and I want you all to vote in the poll. I want this poll to get shared out because I want everybody. I want to have a large sample size when I go to argue with the people that want to throw around their appeal to authority to me and throw around their authority as journalists. I want to be able to have a large sample size to say, hey, you know what? There's a whole vast amount of people that agree with me, because I'm sick of these people throwing around their Twitter followings and the fact that they work for some newspaper that nobody reads as a way to insult my intelligence. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry to be disrespectful to the people who know who I'm talking about. I'm sorry to be disrespectful to you guys. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you guys. Your industry is dying. You're like the factory workers in the 90s and today, getting replaced by robots. And you're not going to use one of those robots to interact with me. I'm a real person with real experience in life. And I've been to places, I've worked on y'all's laptops. I've worked on y'all's servers. So spare me the gaslighting, please. and interact with me like a human being. That's all I expect. So if you think you're being disrespected, you started it. All I did was ask my timeline a question. And tonight I'm asking my YouTube audience a question. Would you fire Mike McDaniel for his decision on fourth and goal yesterday? That's the poll. Get your vote in. We're going to talk about it. If you want to wait to hear what I have to say before you vote, that's fine. But get your vote in before the show ends. I want a large sample size. Currently, we got 9 votes, people. Come on. 4 likes. Now, why is it that everybody else can fire up a show and sit there in their sweaty ass freaking shirt talking about politics that nobody cares about and they can get thousands of views? The only way we're going to stop these people from using their bot armies is to grow a bigger army of real people. So get your vote in. 2 people were affected by what I just said and voted. I'm just going to shut it down. I'm not even going to tell you all what I have to say about it. Y'all obviously don't care. 20 billion people on the internet glazing Joe Shad. Why? I'm not faulting Joe Shad for that. I've defended Joe Shad in the past. That's why another reason I don't appreciate the disrespect. You could have just left me alone if I'm so insignificant. So as I told you on your Twitter timeline, I decline your blessing, Joe. People can do that, you know. We're allowed to. You've never blessed me. You don't intend to bless me. So spare me. The answers you can choose from in this poll are yes, obviously, no, obviously, or that was cold as ice. Well done. If you think what McDaniel did was some kind of 5D brilliant chess, if you think what McDaniel did was Trumpian, then that's your answer. That was cold as ice. Well done. If you believe all this nonsense about, mathematics and analytics and a 3.5% chance, then that's your answer. That was cold as ice. Well done. In which case you still think, as I did up until yesterday, that Mike McDaniel's office chair is cold as ice. I don't believe that anymore. And even if I did believe it, it shouldn't be. That is the absolute most ridiculous call. I'm not even going to start. Let's get to the action yesterday. You see the poll. Would you fire McDaniel for his decision on 4th and goal yesterday? Yes, no, or that was cold as ice. Well done. Get your votes in. What's up, B-Boss? I've been seeing you on Twitter, man. I appreciate your support, man. Thanks for coming over and saying hi. Finn's Tailgate loves to have you here, man. Check out all our other content, too. We've got a lot of it archived over the last 5 or 6 seasons. Of course, nobody knows about it. Well, 6,500 of you do. And we appreciate every single one of you because we all know every one of you are real. So if you want to know where all the real people are, real fans, I don't care. I don't even care if you're a fan of the Dolphins. If you're a real person that wants to talk about real football, which is what we were talking about when we kicked the Buffalo Bills' ass, we were talking about real football. And you know what? My assessment of yesterday's game overall is we got lucky. Our defense was spot on. Our offense was as normal as it normally is, and we got lucky. We didn't play real football yesterday, which is what I told you all was required to go on this imaginary 7-game run. If you think we're going to win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, even without Aaron Rodgers doing what we did yesterday, you're wrong. Goodbye, playoffs. Goodbye, miraculous run. Why are we even talking about it? We got lucky yesterday. And if yesterday would have been the Bills instead of last week, the Bills would have absolutely capitalized off of that stupid shit and would have beat our ass yesterday. That's right. That's what I just said. They're the ones with a real percentage chance to get to the playoffs, not us. I told y'all they'd be fine, and they're fine. They have a real quarterback who does just have bad days every once in a while against good defenses. That's right, we have a good defense. Did you notice who is smashing the lead in tackles right now with another 20 yesterday? I also told you that Tyrell Dodson is an ATM machine when it comes to having him at 8.5 tackles over under. He smashed through that yesterday too with 11 tackles. The Dolphins had 40-some tackles yesterday. 41 or so. Tyrell Dodson and Jordan Brooks accounted. No, I'm sorry. They had more than that. I'll get to that in a second. You know what? I'll get to it right now. We're going to look. I had it in my head. The stuff I'm seeing about that decision yesterday has just got me so like almost blinded, you could say. It's so absolutely ridiculous. Tonight, you got the Cowboys going into Las Vegas to face the Raiders, so there's really nothing to talk about there. Here we go. 38 tackles combined. I'm sorry, 81 combined tackles yesterday. Jordan Brooks and Tyrell Dodson accounted for 31 of those. $38 solo tackles yesterday. 38 team-wide. Dodson and Brooks accounted for 13 of those. I told you all Jordan Brooks was leading the league in tackles. He remains in the league by a lot more now because number 2 in the league was Bobby Wagner. We got to have a direct comparison yesterday. Tyrell Dodson had more tackles than Bobby Wagner yesterday. Bobby Wagner coming in with 8 total tackles, 4 of them solo. Dodson had 11 and 3 solo with a sack. Minkah Fitzpatrick coming in right on their heels, as I told you all. 9 total tackles yesterday, 6 of them solo, 2 tackles for losses, one of them QB hit. I think you know why I'm starting with the defense. I think the people that understand real football understand where I'm already going with this. Because I don't want anybody to say something down the road when we get there. And I think the people that know real football and know what I'm talking about and know why I'm so pissed. I'm not pissed at McDaniel anymore. It is what it is. I'm not pissed at anybody who disagrees with me. I'm pissed that there are people that flaunt their authority going around suggesting this idea that what happened yesterday was okay or excusable or defendable, even debatable. And if you think it is debatable, here I am. I'm not going to debate a bot. Tonight's coffee, for those of you that might want to know, is about 2 inches left of some cold Dunkin' Donuts from my local Dunkin'. I didn't even brew it myself. I'm out of beans. I'm awaiting a shipment of beans. It's absolutely ridiculous, B-Boss. It's absolutely ridiculous. And what's worse, B-Boss, is I don't know if you, I mean, it says Brad Boss 818. I'm assuming 818 maybe your area code. I don't know. That's a 3-digit number. Usually is kind of what it means. I may be wrong. But I'm from the 561, bro. That's where I'm broadcasting from right tonight. I've been reading the Palm Beach Post my entire life. Oh, I see them all. I'm going to get to y'all in a minute, Mudbone. B-Boss just happens to be following the specific thread that I'm working with on Twitter, so he has a little bit of insight. I've been reading the Palm Beach Post my entire life. And this is not an advertisement or a shilling for them, YouTube. This is definitely not an advertisement for the Palm Beach Post. I've been reading that newspaper my entire life. Put a 1 in there. I'm going to tell you guys something. Remember when I've told you that I used to wake up every Sunday morning, go get the newspaper, and I'd pull out the sports section, and they used to have those little squares in the sports section with all the games for the day, the game slate, kind of like they do online now. We all just do it online now, but we do the same thing. I used to do that with the newspaper. I'd go through, look at they had the little helmets next to each other. They had the whole game breakdown, the whole tale of each tape for each game. They'd have the standings, the playoff chances, everything we look at on websites today used to be right there in about 3 pages in the Palm Beach Post for me to look at every Sunday morning before the games. It was a pastime. I used to go through and check all the next to the helmet that I thought was going to win. I'd give all my picks. Something I enjoyed growing up. Still enjoy it today, just in a different media format. And that media format's been hijacked by a bunch of people that tell me it's okay to do what we saw yesterday, what we saw Mike McDaniel do yesterday. You know what would happen if I opened up the sports section of the Palm Beach Post back then and saw a beat writer in the Palm Beach Post trying to excuse Don Shula for a decision like that? Do you know what I would do? I would throw that newspaper in the garbage and I would never buy it again. And I would probably go get myself a Miami Herald or a Sun Sentinel because they were available at our stores up here. I've been reading that newspaper for a long time. Very long time. So you can understand the slight that I feel when I have what seems to be a Twitter bot on behalf of a beat writer for that newspaper telling me and dismissing me, telling me that I'm wrong and dismissing me, and even just like, you know, putting that out there, dude. I don't care. You know, you all sit there and have debates with each other and circle jerk each other through articles that you write while you all are getting rich off everybody. I refuse to interact with it anymore. You should be challenged on that, not with another article that nobody else can answer to. I don't need Alan Poupart or anybody else to speak for me in challenging the idea that you put out. I'll challenge it right now. I'm challenging it right now. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't even be talked about. Jack Jones with the game-sealing interception yesterday in overtime. An overtime which should have never happened. Malik Washington won kick return yesterday for 21 yards, doing his normal 20-yard thing. Punt returns were not as good. He had 1 for 3. Riley Patterson 3 for 3 yesterday, doing a serviceable job standing in for Jason Sanders this year. I'll give him credit. He missed an extra point last week, I think, but whatever. He's doing fairly well. He accounted for 10 of our points yesterday. Jake Bailey, 2 punts for 106 yards, 53-yard average. That's beautiful. All right, back to the scores yesterday. So we'll run through this quick because I want to get through what I got. I got a lot to talk about. I still got a lot more to say. We saw Thursday night, of course, the Patriots beat the Jets 27-14. Dolphins getting lucky yesterday in Spain, winning 16-13 in overtime. Falcons losing at home to the Panthers in a comeback, 30-27. Buccaneers keeping up with the Bills for most of the game, and then Bills just pulled away from them in the fourth, outscoring them in the third and the fourth, 23-12, and winning 44-32. Texans finally made the comeback on the Titans. Like I told you all, that was going to be a close game, and Titans had it for most of the game. Texans came back and won by the same score the Dolphins did, 16-13. Bears defeated the quarterbackless Vikings 19-17. Packers defeated the Giants 27-20. The G-men making it a better game than it's been looking now that they've fired their coach. Steelers pulled away from the Bengals. Bengals couldn't do nothing. 34-12. Their defense is hapless. Trevor Lawrence, in a mediocre performance, gets carried to a 35-6 victory over the Chargers. Justin Herbert, I mean, what are you going to say? Lots of talent, not lots of help. 7-4 on the season. Jaguars move it to 6-4. Starting to assert themselves back in that division. Rams defeat the Seahawks 21-19 in a very close game, which it wasn't quite as close as the score reflects, I don't think. I think the Rams really kind of took it to the Seahawks yesterday. Sam Darnold with a lackluster performance, to say the least. He was bound to come back down to earth eventually, being held up by all those ghosts. 49ers putting another hurting on another NFC West opponent. I think it's safe to say that the 49ers are I'm sorry. They got one put on them last week. They are now returning the favor to the Arizona Cardinals, who seem to have put themselves at the bottom of that division. 49ers sending a message saying, hey, we're still here by beating up on the worst team in that division, 41-22, defeating the Cardinals. Ravens had to have another fourth quarter comeback to defeat the Browns 23-16. Broncos get it done late and secure the victory at home against the Chiefs. 22-19. Chiefs fall to 5-5. Wow. That's only one game ahead of us in the win column. Eagles absolutely just outclassed the Lions last night. Lions defense doing all they could to make it look respectable in a 16-9 loss. I don't know what happened to Goff last night. I guess like his food got poisoned or something. I don't know. Colts and Saints were on the bye tonight. Again, tonight you got the Cowboys going out to Vegas to face the Raiders. They're only 3.5-point favorites at 3-5, facing a 2-7 Raiders at home, who like to have a crowd that gets fired up pretty good at home on in primetime games. So I don't know. I wouldn't bet on this game. I would be running as far as I could with my betting money. So that's the action from yesterday, with one more to go. Thursday night, you got the Bills going to Houston to take on the Texans. That should be fairly interesting to see if the Bills and the Houston Texans can decide who's the better, who's got more class, who should be in the higher class of the league. Unless they tie, it should decide that question. Steelers are going to Chicago next week to face the red-hot 7-3 Bears. Caleb Williams starting to get things going on there, it seems, at least winning games. Patriots will take on the Bengals, who have pretty much sealed their fate on the season at 3-7. The hapless Giants will be going to Detroit. Detroit looking to get off the snide at 6-4. Vikings going out to Lambeau for another beatdown from the Packers, because what are they going to do? And Seahawks going to the Titans, to the Tennessee to face the Titans. Could waiting on you, Can. You got to at least get another win so people stop, people have some kind of faith. Seattle 13-point favorites in that game. Colts will be going out to Kansas City. And I think that Cap and I have decided to call that game right here at the Fins Tailgate, 1 o'clock Sunday at Arrowhead. We're not going to be at Arrowhead, but who wants to be at Arrowhead this time of year? Ugh. 8-2 Colts now. Still rolling along atop the division. 5-5 Chiefs, who are 4-1 at home. So they are really dangerous at home still. They are also 3.5-point favorites with a 50.5 total for over-under. I think I'm going to take the over on that one. Preliminarily, Jets will be going to Baltimore. Baltimore should be able to get more right on the Jets. I think the Fields experiment is pretty much over. Browns going to Vegas for a boring bowl at 4:05. Jaguars facing the Cardinals. That should be easy for them. Eagles facing the Cowboys should be easy for them, division opponent or not. Falcons facing the Saints, who cares? Buccaneers and Rams. Intra conference matchup between the Buccaneers. That would be an intra-conference matchup between the Buccaneers and Rams. Rams are just rolling right along. I really think we got the Rams Colts. That's probably what we're headed for the Super Bowl. That's kind of what I'm looking at so far. There's a lot more action left to go. Buccaneers need to get right. They got to get a win against a good team. They had the goods yesterday, but just fell behind, and Buffalo never looked back. 6-4 Buccaneers versus the 8-2 Rams, who are 4-1 at home. Buccaneers are 4-2 on the road. Monday, that's the 8:00 game, by the way, next Sunday. I might even call that one. I don't know. Monday action will have the Panthers going out to San Francisco. Now, earlier in the year, we would have thought this was a boring game coming up, but turns out that Panthers 49ers game is going to decide a lot for both of these teams. And so, yes, of course, the reason Cap and I are calling the Colts and Chiefs game is because the Dolphins are one of the bye week teams next week. We're on the bye, along with the Broncos, Chargers, and the Washington Commanders, who we just faced yesterday. That is next week's action, and I just wanted to go over, before I get into this talk about McDaniel. And I'm going to make it about McDaniel. I'm done making it about other people that come offering blessings I don't need. I'm going to make it about McDaniel and back to the idea that was presented, since the idea is what's aggravating me so much. I don't care about people that make money doing nonsense. It's not my business. More power to you, Joe. Anyway, projections, current projections. According to ESPN Analytics, the Philadelphia Eagles have the best chance in the league to make the Super Bowl. They also have the best chance to win it. Their chance to make the Super Bowl is 23.5%. To win it is 12.2%. Following right behind them is the Los Angeles Rams in the same conference. 21.9% chance to make the Super Bowl. 12% chance to win it. Now, over in the AFC, it's a little more cut and dry. It's a little more spread. I think the Rams can beat the Eagles easily, so that's why I go with the Rams over in the NFC. But you can't have two teams from the same conference in the Super Bowl. So, over on the AFC side, the third and fourth team on the list happen to be AFC teams. And the third best chance to make the Super Bowl, to make it at 21% even, is the Indianapolis Colts, with a 10.7% chance to win it. All three of those teams are 8-2. The fourth team at 16.5% chance to make it. So you can see the difference is larger in the AFC. With a 16.5% chance to make it and an 8.1% chance to win it. Can anybody guess? It's not the Buffalo Bills. It is, in fact, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos, who sit atop the league with the league's best record at 9-2. They share that spot with the Patriots at 9-2. who have an 11.6% chance to make the Super Bowl, 4.9% chance to win it. However, the Bills and the Chiefs are both ahead of the Patriots in those metrics. The Bills at 7-3 and the Chiefs at 5-5. The Bills have a 13.7% chance to make the Super Bowl. That's the fifth greatest chance right now, and a 6.8% chance to win it. That's how much their analytics factor in the Josh Allen effect, because their team is absolutely garbage. And I would imagine that it doesn't matter if it's the other way around, whether it's Josh Allen is garbage and the Bills are good, or if it's the Bills are garbage and Josh Allen is good. It doesn't matter which direction it is. But I think Michael K would probably agree with me that something's being held together, and whatever that something is makes you better than the Patriots. And that could be. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that's likely what the analytics. It's probably nested in the analytics somewhere. I mean, Chiefs are 5-5. They have an 11.9% chance to make the Super Bowl. That's the importance they put on Patrick Mahomes. 7.1% chance to win it. So they have a better chance than the Bills to win it, but a lesser chance than the Bills to make it there. What that's saying is hey, if the Chiefs make it there, they've been there before. They're more likely to be Super Bowl champions than a team that hasn't gotten there in a billion years and has lost everyone they've gone to. So that's why the Bills have a better chance to make it than them, while having a lesser chance to win it. Notable names coming up behind all of them. Every one of these teams have a greater than 10% chance of making it there. That would be, as I said, the New England Patriots, the Detroit Lions with 11.4%, San Francisco 49ers 11%, Green Bay Packers 10.7%, Seattle Seahawks 10.3%, and just outside of the teams with a 10% or greater chance is the Baltimore Ravens with a 9.6% chance to make the Super Bowl. And then you have the leader of the bad teams in the league, and that would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, followed by the Chargers, Jags, Steelers, Bears, Texans, Panthers, Cowboys. I know what y'all want to know. I know what CCRR wants to know. What are the Dolphins' chances of making the Super Bowl? Not enough to register above 0. Winning it, not enough to register above 0. To make the conference playoff game, the Dolphins have a not enough to register than 0. To make the divisional round of the playoffs, they have a 0.2% chance. To make the to win the division, they have a 0% chance, not enough to register. And to make the playoffs, which is I know what y'all sycophants want to know, the Dolphins have a 0.6% chance of making the playoffs at 4-7. Our projected record by ESPN Analytics is currently 7-10. So there you go. That's the tale of the week for the league and the Miami Dolphins. So yesterday, we all saw and watched in horror as we sat on 4th and goal in a tie ball game. At the 1-yard line or so. And we had, where the heck is the damn actual play-by-play. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong page. Yeah, so on 4th and goal, with a chance to go ahead in the game, with less than 2 minutes left, the Commanders have no timeouts. Our defense has made several critical stops throughout the game, and most importantly, a fourth down stop at the goal line or inside the 20. I don't remember if it was exactly at the goal line. Neither team had amassed more than 13 points all day. Neither team had shown really the ability to march all the way down the field. I mean, yeah, there were very few punts, but it's also because of turnovers and stuff, and just because of the fact that Marcus Mariota takes 3 days to get to the 50-yard line, and so does ours. And need I not remind you of the stats that I opened up with for the game yesterday on defense? So Mike McDaniel, instead of taking the go-ahead 3 points with about a minute 50 left, proceeds to, oh, this is where I got to shut the chat off, everybody. I'll be back in a bit to interact with the chat, but for right now, I'm just going to close the window and talk. Mike McDaniel decides to go for it for the touchdown. Yeah, that's what I just said. I mean, I know most of you saw it, but if you're not from the Dolphins fan base and you're listening and you didn't see our game yesterday, yeah, that's what happened. Commanders had no timeouts left. Minute and 50 seconds or so. And Mike McDaniel went for it. And we failed to get the touchdown and break the tie. Washington took over with a minute and 41 seconds left. And they drove into field goal range from the 3-yard line. And their kicker was wide right on a very makeable field goal. And we went to overtime. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue the decision to kick to the other team in an overtime where both teams are guaranteed to get possession of the ball. I'm not going to argue that because that's a soccer argument. Yeah, it's analytical, but it's also a choice. It's also a viewpoint argument, and I'm not going to get into that. I don't think it was a mistake to. I think you have to, that's one of those, you have to feel out how things are going and decide how you want the cookie to crumble. That's all that is. I mean, I'm not going to argue that. My problem with what happened in overtime was that the people that like to flaunt their authority when it comes to knowing football and all that nonsense, and the ones that like to condescend to and patronize and dismiss and offer blessings to people like me for saying you're a moron for even being in overtime. And I'm not going to take the bait of arguing about whether McDaniel should have kicked off or received the kick in overtime when it's a non sequitur. You know what that means? I know what it means. So stop insulting my intelligence. It's a non sequitur. The debate about McDaniel's decision to kick off or receive the kick should not even be started. That's what a non sequitur is. It's a Mott and Bailey. It's a straw man, whatever you want to call it. It's not the argument. It's a deflection. It's smoke and mirrors. We should have never been to overtime. You know why? We would have never been. First of all, if we were playing the Buffalo Bills, we wouldn't have had it. We wouldn't have been to overtime. If we're playing any of those teams that I just told you percentages to get to the playoffs and the Super Bowl, if we're playing any of those teams yesterday, there is no overtime, including some of the teams that lost yesterday. They got destroyed yesterday, like the Chargers with Justin Herbert. We would have never been to overtime. Not the way he's been playing. Yesterday, an exception. I don't think Sam Darnold lets that game get to overtime yesterday. If he was the quarterback of the Washington Commanders. And that's not groundbreaking. That is not groundbreaking. That is an opinion shared by a lot of experts that watch this game. And you're not going to gaslight me into believing they don't. Not only should he have been fired before he got back to America, but he should not have even been allowed on the plane. They should have made him pay for his own flight back. That's not real football. You can call it whatever you want. You can excuse it. You can defend it. You can throw math at me. Nobody's going to throw analytics at me. My whole show and my whole shtick and whole angle on this show is analytics. And everybody knows that. You're not going to throw them at me and use them to make some kind of point that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. The reason I didn't open my show today with the clip of Mike McDaniel excusing himself like I normally do is because I don't want my audience to hear what he has to say about his reason for going for it yesterday. You know why? I don't want to waste my audience's time. I'm not trying to hold anything from my audience. They know exactly not only did they know that McDaniel was wrong yesterday, not only did they not buy his excuse, but they probably didn't even have to watch it and already knew what his excuse was going to be. That's my audience. That's who I'm trying to talk to. And we got it served to us on a silver platter, a gold platter. And this fan base is going to ridicule me for spewing it out of my mouth. I have to sit here with hardly anybody knowing I even do this, even though I say the same things that everybody else. Oh, what a coinky dink. I have to bring it to you this way because that's what separates me from the rest of them. Because if they want to steal my content, they're going to have to steal these words. I was the one that said Mike McDaniel's seat was the coldest in the league for the last how many weeks? And I'm the one telling you right now that he should had to pay for his own flight home yesterday. I don't care about, oh, that's a human being. So am I. He's got the money. He can afford it. Maybe he can throw his little mathematical calculator, whatever he calls it, his little analytic, whatever I told you all that we hired that guy from Cleveland who wanted to do the Billy Bean thing in Miami with football and was proven wrong. Like everybody told him, you can't do that with football players. They end up not respecting it, and they end up not wanting to be your robot. And that's why we're bleeding good players in Miami for the last couple years, because they don't want to be your robot. They're not little things you can just put on a mathematical grid and be like, no. You can garner some information about what's going on by using statistics. Yes, you can do that. You can use them to make valid, probable predictions. Yes, you can do that. But if you do what you did yesterday, anybody, yes, I'm going to say this. I'm sorry to belittle any of the new folks that just started watching football. I'm going to educate the new folks that just started watching football. What Mike McDaniel did yesterday, even 5 years ago, anybody in this league, anybody that's ever watched this game will tell you that there is absolutely no defense for that. None whatsoever. Zero. Absolute zero. There's a mathematical term for you, McDaniel. Absolute zero defense for that decision yesterday. You think I'm going to sit here and have some kind of esoteric debate about 3.5%? That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen a football coach with your experience do. If I didn't know who ever watch a Dolphins football game, if I was a fan of a real team that didn't bother to watch what was going on in Miami, and yesterday was my first introduction to Mike McDaniel, I would be calling Goodell, and I would be, I don't know, I would probably call a private investigator to find out what's going on in the league. That's how indefensible that shit was yesterday. And I would not blame Roger Goodell in the slightest. Not in the slightest. For declaring, which he can do, according to the CBA, last I checked, that we're breaking the rules and dock us another draft pick. I hope the NFL finds us another draft pick so y'all learn. That's the kind of indefensible malpractice that decision is. Speaking in the paradigm of football intelligence. That was the dumbest thing anybody's ever done in the history of the NFL. That's how I feel about it. That's why I'm not going to debate it. That's why it's indefensible. That's why I will disrespect people that condescend to me about it. And that's why I will continue to attack that idea until it is extirpated from my fan base. Because until the people understand that they're being used that way, we are never going to win a Super Bowl. So I'm here to tell the new football fans of the world, I'm here to tell the neophytes of the world who think it's okay to do what McDaniel did yesterday and try to excuse it. I'm here to tell all those people. I'm here to educate you. Because you look foolish. You look like you look like you've never watched a football game. You're being paid to cover a football team, and you're going to shove that garbage in our face? I'll never read your newspaper again. I'll never read an article again. Because you're either an idiot or you're using a bot. And that's my opinion. So we're going to do something fun. Since I have nobody to stand up for me, I have no authority in the media. I have no authority in the league coming to my aid. There's everybody. I mean, if you even consider yourself a football analyst, you agree with me. I'm not saying that I don't have support. I'm not saying there's not people that agree with me. I'm saying that I don't have anybody coming to my aid to say, hey, subscribe to this guy because he knows what the fuck he's talking about. So please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and vote in tonight's poll. And before we get into the fun, because I'm not going to sit here and dwell on this for the rest of my life, Mike McDaniel should be fired, and I no longer support him as our head coach. Bottom line. Oh, look. Oh, views drop off as soon as I say we're about to do something fun. Jeez, man. You all want me to keep yelling and screaming and bitching at Mike McDaniel? Man. All right. Current poll results. The poll is, man, God, get the damn votes in. How are we supposed to, like, so when I go to argue with people or debate them, like, and they throw their appeal to authority fallacy at me, I get to go and say, oh yeah, well, I got 20 people that agree with me. Come on, man, vote in the damn poll. Quit being so lazy. Would you fire McDaniel for his decision on 4th and goal yesterday? Yes, no, or that was cold as ice. Well done. The current results, which mean nothing because only 20 people have voted. 53% of you say yes. That's terrible. Get out of my audience. If it's only 53%. 42% say no. And 5%, that was cold as ice. Well done. Okay, those 5%, y'all can go. We really don't need you around here. You're not going to learn nothing from me. I mean, you're just not. I mean, all you're going to do is get upset when I say things and try to ridicule me and all that and be the reason that I turn off the chat and all that. So the 5% of you, if you're not just joking and you're not just having fun with me, then go ahead and get out of here. We really don't need you around here. We're not missing it. If you're just roasting me, then that's funny. Good for you. So what we're going to do is, oh, you don't see the poll. What? Oh, did it put the damn poll on the wrong thing? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, that's okay. I can fix that. And we still got time. Since I know all you are going to vote. And if you haven't voted already, then you probably weren't going to. So let me get there real quick. I can fix that. I knew it was going to do that because of the new way they got it formatted for the cell phone users. I think I put it on the wrong one. I think I put it on the one that was meant for cell phone. And so if you're on your cell phone, or maybe it's the other way around, if you're viewing on your cell phone, it may not be showing up there. Which means we're going to have to fix that because that makes polls useless. Yeah, it's not coming through the cell phone version. See, it duplicates it. That's just like, yeah, okay, hurtful. It's the cell phone users. All right. Well, I'm sure this is not going anywhere. So let me just hit the poll. Let me just start it here. I'll make the question shorter. Fire McD for the 4th and goal decision. You guys are smart enough to know what the damn question is. Yes, no. We'll just do a yes, no, because I really don't care to hear from the people that think that was cold as ice, to be honest with you. So here we go. Oh, that's where all our viewers are at too, is on the cell phone side. No kidding. Look at that. Well, that's good. Now I know which side to like put polls on and stuff like that. Or, like look at the metrics on while we're live. All right, there's the poll. If you're on the desktop, it's still over there. I didn't take it down, but I just put it up. 6 of you have already voted. Hit the like button before you do. 80 people watching right now, and we got 16 likes. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, no, 18 really on YouTube. Let me see what it says. We got 94 across all the platforms. Hit the like button. Come over to YouTube and hit the like button. We're going to get into the fun part. And by the way, what I'm about to do, I can share with anybody that wants it. Just hit me up on Twitter. So what I'm going to do is, as I said, I don't have any authority to appeal to. I don't get to throw around the appeal to authority fallacy and gain a bunch of followers and act like I'm some kind of big cheese because I I write for a failed newspaper. I don't get to do that. And I don't get to throw around that I was a quarterback in the NFL. And by the way, Kurt Warner obviously agrees with me. I'll take that. So here we go. So when I thought about how I was going to appeal to authority, well, I have to choose an authority. Right? And there's really only one authority that everybody that is truly a Dolphin fan, I'm not talking about these people that are playing the game of, I'm a Dolphin fan now and whatever. No, I'm talking about even casuals are in the group of people I'm talking about. I'm talking about real Dolphin fans. And I don't care if you're faking it or not. I'm not trying to accuse people of doing that. I'm saying that you know who you are. And you know who I'm talking to when I say this. There's only one person that we could even dare to appeal, whose authority we could appeal to in Dolphins history, in Dolphins lore, in the Dolphins community, because we are Dolphin fans. I don't give a damn what Bill Walsh would have to say, although I have a feeling I know what it would be. I don't give a damn what John Gruden or anybody else has to say, even though I know, I'm pretty sure what it would be. So I decided to ask Don Shula. And you might be saying, Culler, wait a minute. The great Don Shula is late. We can't ask him. And you would be correct. I cannot technically ask Don Shula. I can, however, technically get an opinion from a large language model that has enough of what humans have said and talked about in our language and could extrapolate as if they were Don Shula, how Don Shula would likely answer my question. And so I decided to ask Gemini. It's the first one I pulled up. It's Google's. It's easy to use. It's not even the paid for version, which is, so it's not even the most smart large language model. So I decided to ask Gemini. And it allows me to share the link, which I have done. I have the link, that's the shareable link for anybody that wants to utilize this 2-question conversation that I had with Gemini about what not what Don Shula would think, what Don Shula would do. Okay, so I'm going to share it. Let's see here. So y'all can, that need the visual help can follow along. This is Culler's official, since everybody else gets to do it, this is Culler's official appeal to authority. When I say that the decision to do what McDaniel did yesterday is indefensible. So you guys should be able to see it. Even y'all on the phone should be able to see it. Okay. So what I did was I first said, hey, Gemini. Oh, stop it, phone. I wasn't talking to you. Damn it. I have a football game scenario for you. And after I frame it, I want you to evaluate the coach's decision as if you were the great Don Shula. And it goes on to answer that with, sure, Don Shula is all about this, that, and the other. Okay, it gave me a little synopsis on the type of coach that Don Shula is. Okay. That's fine. Y'all can read that yourself when I share the link. Okay, so then it said, to provide a specific evaluation, please provide the football game scenario. So I wrote, there is 1 minute. Well, I didn't have the actual numbers at the time, but the scenario is still the same. I used a minute 37 because that was the first number that came to my mind. There's less than 2 minutes left, suffice it to say. There's less than 2 minutes left in the game. Your opponent has 0 timeouts. The game is tied. It is 4th and goal, and you decide to go for the touchdown instead of kicking the go-ahead field goal. Your defense has shown the ability to hold your opponent's offense in critical situations. It is 13-13. And this is Gemini's response in the aura of Don Shula. Now, let me be clear. I don't like these people that create these and talk to your dead person, your dead family member and all. No, that stuff is gross. Okay. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do the best possible thing there is. In other words, me appealing to an AI that is emulating the known attributes of Don Shula in evaluating the scenario is still better than anybody that's walked through the Miami Dolphins organization. And I think all real, true Miami Dolphin fans would agree with that. So I'm not going to create a video of Don Shula firing McDaniel. I'm not going to do that. That's what's gross. People do that kind of thing. It's gross. It's tacky. It's not even fun to watch. So I presented the scenario to the Gemini Shula. And here's its response. A coach in the mold of Don Shula would view the decision to go for the touchdown as an unnecessary risk, especially given the game situation. His philosophy was rooted in preparation, attention to detail, and a relentless pursuit of perfection, which meant avoiding the kinds of mistakes that could cost a game. Here's how Shula might break down the decision. First bullet point, trust the percentages. While Shula was known for making bold, conviction-driven calls, he would ultimately trust the percentages. In this scenario, with the game tied and under 2 minutes left, kicking the field goal would have given your team a 3-point lead. This puts the pressure squarely on the opponent's offense, which has no timeouts to drive down the field for a tying field goal. Going for the touchdown offers a high risk, high reward outcome, but the high risk is a turnover or a failure to convert. Excuse me. Second bullet point, emphasize winning through defense. Your defensive unit is shown the ability to hold the opponent in critical situations. Shula would emphasize a strategy that plays to your strengths. By kicking the field goal, you rely on your strong defense to close out the game, which is the higher percentage play. The goal is to win, not to run up the score or demoralize the opponent. Third bullet point, control the clock. With less than 2 minutes remaining and the opponent having no timeouts, a field goal gives you the lead and forces them to move quickly. If your offense fails to convert the touchdown on 4th down, you give the ball back to the opponent with solid field position. Well, not really. That's wrong. They're wrong. I'll correct them there. And ample time to get a game-winning or game-tying score. Kicking the field goal is more conservative and safer play to control the end game situation. The one thing I'd correct them on is that actually plays into my favor, by the way. I'd correct it on solid field position. That's my point. They didn't have solid field position. They're taking over possession at the 1 yard line. They had to drive 70 yards. Their kicker had already missed the field goal. Anyway, since there was a correction, I felt the need to interject. I'll move on. Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth bullet point. Shula was famous for being consistent in his approach. No matter the situation or star player, he would likely have coached his team in practice to handle this situation predictably, which means he wouldn't have had to even call a play, with the expectation that they would execute the high percentage play. Going for the touchdown, especially if it was a departure from the game plan, would likely have earned the coach a reprimand. Now y'all can like take that for what it is. You can belittle me over it. You can say I'm unintelligent, I'm wrong, you can dismiss me. But you know what you're not going to do? Is disrespect me, and you're not going to debate